Hello, hello, and welcome to the Guru Gaming Stream. I am your host, Guru, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today as we are playing Star Citizen. Um, and 3.24.2 has been long in awaiting. 4.0 has been being tested by the Evocati branch or testers, and soon to be released to Wave 1, which I'm excited about. And no, that wasn't released on the official channels, but that's my thoughts. So, you know, like I said, I'm really excited about that. Um, you know, this patch has been a roller coaster, right? Um, but ultimately, they've had some very good um, gains, which I'm excited about. Okay, it's a little bit of lag going on there, which me personally, I'm very, very excited about. Right? A big part of it is, of course, some new ships being released, but it's seeing the culmination of all of the development coming to a head, which is what we're seeing right now. I saw something that was very strange on the forums the other day when when they released 4.0 onto the Evocati. I saw almost a whole forum full of compliments to CIG about how they've pushed and got to this point, and I want to commend them, right? Because they did the work. They did the hard work of looking at their schedules before SitCon, which preparing for a conference, especially a conference as big as SitCon is, you know, that's a feat in itself, right? But they've also been working 7 days to get 3.24.2 and 4.0 ready for SitCon, right? And a lot of people, I've talk about it all the time with people how there's going to be exponential growth once you get to a certain point in development when you've kind of gotten a lot of the major hurdles, the architecture kind of down in the game. You can really move forward at a more uh, foreseeable pace, right? Versus the constant back and forth, which is what you experience a lot of times because you know when it boils down to it, you're still playing an alpha, right? We're actually kind of pre-alpha, but you're still playing an alpha, right? And it's one of those things where because we're playing it so early, we're a part of this process, right? Which in some cases can slow things down, but you know, in other cases it, you know, helps them gather more data, especially when you're on like the cutting edge of different things, like creating a massive universe like what Star Citizen is. Um, When you're on the cutting edge of creating a game like this, you know, it's and I've seen people try to do it. I've seen people try to do it in games that aren't even as intricate as this, and miss the mark, right? So of course it's a very elaborate goal, uh, and what we all have to kind of keep in mind is that there's multiple tiers, there's multiple levels to this. It's not just about you being able to get into play, right? Yeah, that's not the main goal here. The main goal is to create a game that's great, right? That fits the vision of what it's supposed to be, you know, because otherwise you just get something that's just like all the other ones, which is okay in one sense, but in the other sense, it's like, do we really want that? Do we really want another game just like the other games? I boldly declare no. I do not. I want something that's gonna take a lot of time that I can invest into it. Um, it's gonna bring back the social element. You know, that's a big part of it for me because in a lot of games that I play, people just kind of run through it, and if they can do it by themselves, they just kind of run through it and do it like that. They don't really have any like major goals. To me, this represents a lot of different things. Not just a game. Us as you know human beings. Coming together for lofty goals, right? Can we do that? Can we truly create something great together? That's something that I feel this project is also showing, right? You know, and of course, you're gonna always have people who challenge that idea, right? Who don't want to see that. They don't want to see people coming together. They want to cause the chaos, right? And we need them to. We need that contrast so that we can, so we can appreciate the things that we do have, right? You know, for me, it makes it where um, my goals, for my org, right, is along the lines of catering to the people who really want to see this succeed, who really want to see um, you know this game become what it's meant to be. And creating a place for people to come together for that as well. And I'm just getting ready here. Well, actually, let me go back to this. Put on my backpack here. And I'm going to go to weapons. And get the weapons that match the outfit. So yeah, You know, I was on Reddit earlier, and one of the things that people are saying and talking about, you know, a lot on there is, you know, what to do with a lot of this stuff, you know, that's starting to come out, right? Like somebody was asking, how much should I charge for luxury trips to Pyro when it comes out, right? Which is a good question. It's a great question, right? Because these are the things that you have to start thinking about, you know. And a lot of course, a lot of people started going in on it and saying, well, you know, you can charge like a arm and a leg for it, but then when people get on the ship, you can hijack them and take them for ransom and stuff like that. But yeah, in certain instances, that might be a viable way to go. But what you have to realize is, first of all, one for number one, some of those people that you hijack probably don't have anybody that's really going to be able to like give you anything for that. For one, you know, you would need like people who are a part of like a org that has a lot of money to take them for ransom, right? And for them to give you a lot of money, right? Meaning you're not going to make a lot of money that way, all right? Matter of fact, you'll probably end up spending more money doing that than you would making it as a hijacker, right? And I'm going to restart this here for a second. But, you know, you're probably going to get way more. And for me, what that means for me is I want to defend those people who are trying to do stuff like that, right? So they can hire me to protect their interests, whatever those things may be, whether it's their, you know, their resource gathering interest or building or whatever, right? Just their interest, whatever their interest may be, um, with the massive fleet that me and my org is building, and being able to provide that type of service, right? So one of the things I want to do is do patrols, like have patrols across the universe, of course, at the beginning through these systems. Maybe not so much pyro. Pyro mainly just kind of monitoring and making sure that, you know, things aren't getting out of hand, right? That's probably going to be the main thing for that. This is a mainly lawless system, right? You're not going to have a lot of stuff going on there anyway. You know, as far as on the lawful side, you know, you're going to have a lot of, and if you do, it's going to have to be a very concerted effort, right? You're going to have a lot of people who are, you know, or a large organization. And you're going to have to be organized because you're going to have people who are going to be there to help you in those types of situations. You know, you're going to have like organized security, right? Um, to monitor different places, like because one of the things they're going to be announcing, you can tell from the titles of the breakouts on at the Citizen Con, is, you know, base building and that whole system type thing. I'm pretty sure they're going to start putting a lot of resources into that once they get what we're doing right now into a good space, right? Once they do that, then, you know, things are going to kind of come back in. All right, let me make sure that you guys can see this. Okay. So yeah. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Forgot that's the one that stutters. Alright. Okay. There we go. So whether that's the you know, so yeah. So you can have outposts and stuff like that because of course you'll have a lot of frontier type land in Pyro. Um, because it's not a settled well, I wouldn't even say settled, but because it's not a um, organized, lawful system, you're not going to have a lot of like organization to it, right? It's going to be chaos. Like they said, it's going to be like, I think they named about like three major factions that are going to be there that you're going to have to be vying for reputation with either or. And, it's going to cause a lot of fighting and it cause a lot of that type of gameplay for you, to have, and which is cool. Like, it'll be a place for people to go for that type of gameplay, right? But if you do want to do anything outside of that there, right? Then you're gonna have to like be organized, just as organized as the crime is there, if not more. So, right. But I do like the fact that they're gonna be monitoring the jump point. So like they can't just like control the jump point so that you can't jump into it and stuff like that. So because of that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to be there, you know, um, but not necessarily thrive there, right? So you got to take that into consideration. And so this event that we're about to be doing here, um, let's see, do I want to take something else or do I want to take that? Yeah, I just want to take this because this is like my everyday ship, but it's um it's actually made for exploration, not necessarily military, but it can hold its own. And so, you know, those are some of the things that you have to. But from what I've understood from the things that they've already released about it, um, when it comes to when it comes to um, outposts, if you put a stake down, a claim down, if there is something, if some lawful faction is there, and that you stake your claim, and they're because from what it sounds like, when you do that, you're staking the claim with that particular faction, right? And so if they're there, then they're going to be the ones swooping in to help you, right? If somebody tries to attack you as your automated quote unquote defense, right? Just because they monitor and patrol the system. If somebody is trying to, attack your outpost, a beacon will get sent out to them and they'll come and they'll help you, right? Now, again, in Pyro, that's not necessarily the case, right? Because there is no like lawful faction. I'm not sure how that plays out when it comes to like the pirate factions, right? So it could be the same, right? They could be the ones coming and protecting you. I highly doubt that, but I guess it's possible, right? Because obviously, you know, you know, if they were getting, because assuming that it's the way that it is in most games, if they're playing, uh, if you're if you're paying them to stake a claim somewhere, then it's beneficial for them to make sure that you're able to live there, you know. And when you think about all the potential real estate on these planets, I mean that's by itself that's crazy. Like you got a whole planet where you could stake a claim, and I'd be interested to see how much area you get if you stake a claim, right? Like, what is the area? Is it like a 1 square mile? What is it of the surface of that planet? What do you get, right? Also, another thing to take into consideration is an organized group can stake claims together, right? And I was thinking about this when I was playing PAX Day because PAX Day is like that. You can stake claim, and if you're in a guild or whatever they call them together, then you all can like put all your claims together, and then you can build up this big, massive place that's all of you all's, you know, um, property, right? Collective property. So if you take that concept and translate it to here, then you get a kind of understanding that of just the magnitude of how big this game will get and how quickly like what we believe to be the normal uh, Star Citizen experience to be is going to change drastically. Because if we create, just say for instance, my org creates a defensive hub, and let's just say in Stanton, right? Just for the sake of, you know, argument, we could literally like, and this is part of the plan, you know. And I know there's going to be some people out there that see this and they're going to, they're going to have, and some people might have the same idea anyway, but, you know, create patrols, you know, have squadrons of ships that just patrol the different sectors of the system, um, and come back to the base at certain intervals and stuff like that, you know. Um, so when you start to imagine that type of gameplay and you start to say like that's just a tiny piece of that, right? Not to mention the cargo aspect of that, the refining aspect of that, which ties into the whole manufacturing aspect, right? Because you're going to have raw materials and refine them and then build them into or make them into building components, right? For ships or for whatever, So when you think about that, right, that within itself is this, and you just imagine, especially how they're building out the technology to have, thousands of people on the on you know together at the same time, and you think about that, and you just like, wow, you know, it's gonna be a lot going on, to say the very least. But I think that's gonna be the allure to it. A lot of people, some people are gonna be turned off by it, right? Because it's gonna be a little too hardcore for them. Some people are gonna get upset. They're gonna lose their ships. You know, and they're just gonna go crazy, right? Or they're just gonna quit because you know all these choices that people are making right now are gonna have real consequences later. So you know it's best to kind of get used to it now and start thinking about these things now because it is not going to be anything close to what people are used to. People are used to like picking up a mission, running and doing something, getting some lucrative loot from it and taking it back and selling it. They're going to be people who are just there to prey on people doing that. That's all they're going to be there to do. They're going to sit there, they're going to wait, they're going to scan ships that come into known areas where there may be some missions or whatever, or just known for offloading certain things. As they said in some of the Star Citizen lives, right? They're going to be known trade routes, right? You're going to start building trade routes that people are going to frequent often. I had a feeling it was going to go right here. This is how you're going to be moving right here. Very careful, very methodical, not like moving all wild and crazy. That's not going to be the way. So, if you can imagine, that's what you're going to be looking at. That's what you're going to be dealing with, Um, all right. Okay, so I think we want to go ahead and head out. All right, now let's see where this beacon is. I think I'm gonna have to find it on the map. Oh, it's by Crusader. Okay. Okay. That's good. Let's see if we can go to a different position if it won't pop back up. Because when you just think about it, I mean, you just look at the sheer scale of this. This is like crazy. Like it's just so crazy. But it looks so amazing, right? Let's see here. Not seeing it, so I think we're gonna have to abandon. Well, see, let's untrack and then let's track it again. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, so I don't see it. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna abandon, and then we're gonna go back. Let's check the cargo recovery. Let's see if that one is available. And I know they just dropped this patch. Okay, okay, there we go. We got some action. And all the stream snipers. uh, you guys got to worry about that stuff too, because obviously people are going to take advantage. We're going in. See, just like that. I need more people or an actual fighter. I would have done a lot better with a fighter, but so why don't we grab one? But I love the new MFDs. It's really nice. Um, very clean, very compact, easy to read if you know how to read it. And I would imagine that's going to be part of the tutorial experience. So if you guys want to get that information, then it'd probably be best to do the tutorial experience for that. All right, let's take care of you. Then we're gonna go get our fighter. And don't worry, stream snipers. I'll be back. You just stay right there. Bring the old man out. I won't be able to grab the cargo. That's the only thing about that, right? That's why it's best to have a small squadron with, especially like these types of missions, the ones that are like system wide. They're not necessarily made for like soloing, especially not in a ship that's not made for combat. But I just wanted to see how the ES would handle itself. But it seemed like my weapon got sniped, so I think they were trying to soft def me so that they could take the ship, but it's not gonna happen. I'm too good of a pilot for that. You're either gonna have to destroy me, or you're not gonna be able to get me. There's like a lot of small ships too. Yeah, ooh, look at that. That one looks nice. This is my first time being in this one with the new MFDs, so I really, really like the way that this looks. Let's turn those engines on. Let's get some clearance. Let's get some air. Let's get some screenshots. Gotta get the screenshots too. That's much better. Yeah, it feels so much better. The MFDs, and then you can look out, and you know, it's not obstructing your view. That's nice. Now we're gonna see some real dog fighting. Yeah. So I don't have a cargo hold. So there's that. Let's go see what this is. What I'm trying to see what kind of ship that is. I think that's a mantis. He shot at me. It's not doing any damage to him. Huh, interesting. He might be out here doing some filming or something. Who knows? What is this? I think the mission is a little bugged. head on back. And they did a survey, um, asked people, you know, what what would they like them to work on next, and the majority of people said fixing bugs, which I think once 4.0 comes out, I think they'll be in a good place to do that. You know, to just concentrate on fixing bugs. I think that's Seraphim, yeah. So let me go here. but but even so, this game is like really fun. It's just something about being able to fly a ship around an actual universe. That's just cool. No. Not a whole lot of damage. I did take a little bit. But yeah, so it's good stuff. I like it. Like I said, everything is starting to come together. So we're going to see by the end of this year 4.0 in the live. We're also going to see, I think we're going to see some pretty big announcements about Squadron 42 at this SitCon too. I think we're going to see that it's probably going to go into testing early next year. That's my prediction. And the reason why I say that because the last sitcom, of course, they were feature complete, working on polish, complete polish, right? So they've had a whole year to work at nothing but polish. And just because of the caliber of how these guys have been doing things, I think it's safe to say that they're probably close to finish with that. And you got to understand, I mean, Squadron 42 is a single player game, right? It's going to be like the prelude to Star Citizen, if you will, which is exciting because you get a chance to, you know, play around in the verse, learn about the politics, some of the lore, what's really going on out there. And then when you get a chance to play it, then when you move into Star Citizen, it's like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly why I'm here. I know exactly how to do it. It's like a full length tutorial. Squadron 42 is going to be like a full length tutorial, you know, and not just a tutorial on how to play the game, but a tutorial of what the game is, which I think, again, like I said, these guys have been pushing boundaries, is a new standard, right? I don't know of a lot of games where they have like a full game that comes out before the MMO version that equates you to what it is. Besides, maybe an argument can be made for Final Fantasy being like that, right? Because of course, it was a single player RPG before it became an MMO, right? But you know, besides that version of MMORPG, right? This being a space MMO, hands down, it's definitely going to be a genre breaker. A lot of these other games are going to start losing customers. You know, they already have. I mean, when they announced that they had millions of people playing Star Citizen, right? That bought Star Citizen. I mean, that's already like a milestone, right? So, with that being said, good people, I appreciate you watching the stream. I appreciate you joining in. Next time, hey, say what's up, and let's have a conversation about these things. I know a lot of people come in just to kind of hear my thoughts about it, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I want to have a conversation about it, and I want us to have that kind of dialogue so we can pass it on as feedback to the developers, right? Because that's what it's all about, making the game better. So, you know, definitely want to add that into the mix. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Have fun as you prepare for SitCon, right? Because it's coming. It's coming. So you guys be ready. All right. This is Guru out. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.